Well, good morning. It is the 5th of November 2021, and welcome to another daily devotional. This will be the last daily devotional for a couple of weeks while we change sets a little bit. But this morning, in my time with Jesus, I was in Psalm 77. This is what it says from verse 11. I will remember the deeds of the Lord. Yes, I will remember your wonders of old. I will ponder your work and meditate on your mighty deeds. Earlier on in the psalm, the psalmist is complaining a bit and he's saying, God, have you forgotten to be gracious? Where are you, O Lord, in the midst of all these difficulties I'm facing? And then he says, I will remember your mighty deeds. I will meditate upon them. I will ponder them. As believers, we are not shaped by our past. We are free from the past. We are defined not by where we've been, but by where we're going. And that future then influences our present. However, whenever we are in situations, in the storms of life, where it's difficult to look to the future, where it's difficult to look beyond the circumstances that we're in at the moment, where we're crying out, God, where are you in all this? Lord, have you forgotten to be gracious? God, have you forgotten to be merciful to me? Where are you in this? Then we need to call to mind the things that he has done in the past. See, this is why our testimony is so important, because it isn't just a future hope with no track record of God's faithfulness. There is a strong track record of God's faithfulness, where we can look back and say, this is where God worked in my life beforehand. Yes, I'm going through difficulties now, but you know what? I remember whenever I met with Jesus. I remember the day I gave my life to the Lord. I remember how God came through for me on multiple occasions, time and time and time again. I remember whenever He spoke words to me that sustained and revived my soul. And if you're in such a dark place when you can't remember that, then you open the Bible and you look at what God has done. You're not just the God who acts in my life, but you're the God who has acted throughout history. You can look and say, this is what God did for Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. This is the God who parted the Red Sea, who led the people of Israel out of Egypt, who guided them through the wilderness and into the promised land. This is the God of Elijah and Elisha. This is the God who stares down the prophets of Baal on Mount Carmel. This is the God of Isaiah and Jeremiah and Daniel. This is the God who sustains in the midst of captivity. This is the God that made himself incarnate, took on flesh, and who died for me. This is the God who is raised to life. This is Jesus. And so whenever we're in the midst of the storm, whenever we're in the midst of the difficulty, whenever we can't see what is ahead of us, then we sustain our souls by meditating on what God has done. And because he has done it, and because he is faithful, he can do it again. Folks, I pray that you have a great day, that you experience God and all kinds of wonderful things. But if you don't, bring to mind all that he has done, because there is food for the soul in that. Have a great day.